why rich kids have healthier foods, and how that contributes to keeping people stuck in poverty. The reading from Food Matters that I chose to base this writing off of is Why So Many Rich Kids Come to Enjoy the Taste of Healthier Foods. The reading talks about how rich kids are able to enjoy the taste of healthier foods more so over children from lower income households. In order to get a child to become familiarized with the new food, they would need to try it multiple times, and families with a tighter budget may not be able to afford the waste of food. On top of that, fast food is also easier and faster to prepare, and someone with a low income may not have the time or resources to prepare a more complex meal, even if there are many health benefits to it. This topic is really important to me because I'm passionate about discussing the imbalance between wealth and poverty, and how there are many things in place with the goal of keeping people in poverty, food being one of them. In this essay, I'll be discussing Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the dangers and health risks that come with an unhealthy diet, and the effects of redlining and how these factors in place are made to keep people from escaping the poverty line and prevent people from getting out of the cycle of poverty. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A psychologist by the name of Abraham H. Maslow came up with the theory called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The 5 levels he proposes is often shown or demonstrated as a pyramid. Food is on the very bottom of the pyramid, along with other basic necessities such as water, air, and rest, physiological or survival needs. Survival needs are followed by safety needs, security through order and law, then belongingness and love needs. The 4th level is esteem needs, recognition or achievement, and then finally self-actualization and self-fulfillment at the very top. If you're struggling with food insecurities and you're at the bottom of the pyramid, you won't be able to advance to the top. Self-fulfillment happens once you have all 5 levels of your needs met. However, if you're unable to focus on anything but survival or where your next meal will be, then you won't be able to meet your full potential. The dangers of not having good food will also come at a cost. The cost of having a poor diet can often become deadly. People with reduced availability of fresh fruits and vegetables and limited access to supermarkets are at a higher risk of strokes, double the risk of diabetes and heart attacks. Eating foods rich with sugar and carbs can also increase your risk of cancer, as well as developing a psychiatric disorder. Mental illness often goes hand in hand with poverty. Being someone who personally suffers from a variety of mental illnesses, as well as having a low income, I know firsthand how challenging finding and keeping a job can be, as well as navigating other barriers in life when you have your own internal struggles to work through. I also have many friends who have little to no income, and they all have mental health concerns, as well as a poor familial connection. Lastly, I'll be talking about redlining. Not many people know about redlining and the dark stain that it leaves from the past, but hopefully you'll learn something new today. In the 1930s, the Homeowners Loan Corporation was created to help give homeowners mortgages to finance their homes. The houses that were approved for said loans were given access to more grocery stores, which would have contained healthier foods, as well as better schools, which would have helped their children obtain a better education, hence perpetuating and continuing the cycle of wealth for the next generation. The neighborhoods that were not approved were not given those same opportunities. The process of redlining was how they determined which neighborhoods and houses were deemed worthy or not of said loan. Given the time period, it's probably not too hard to figure out how they determined those who were approved for the loans and those who were denied. Have you ever been to a low-income neighborhood or part of town and noticed that the majority of people who live there are minorities? It's not a coincidence, nor does it say anything about their worth as an individual or overall work ethic. The neighborhoods that were populated by disabled people, people of color, or other minorities were considered to be hazardous for lenders and were thus barred from such loans. This correlates to food insecurities because many of these low-income communities still have a lack of supermarkets and grocery stores, which leads to a reduced access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Redlining doesn't just impact people's diets. It can also play a factor in jobs and education. Many people who live in low-income neighborhoods may have less job opportunities, and if they don't have a car or can't afford bus fare, then they may not be able to leave their neighborhood and are stuck with what limited options they have available. With all these factors in place, it can be next to impossible to escape the cycle of poverty or prevent it from continuing on with your children or your children's children. Living in a low-income neighborhood can give you less opportunities to purchase healthier foods at supermarkets, leading to people only being able to purchase those higher-calorie foods. Without a proper diet of fresh fruits and vegetables, an individual may develop health concerns, which would keep you in the physiological level in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And by remaining in the physiological needs, you won't be able to reach your full potential, which can lead to a less fulfilling and unhappy quality of life.